Thokozani Khanyali Sedi, the long-awaited series bengithembise yona about isn't I've experienced in the waters that are scary. I'm gonna try to pick stories that ezinga implicate abantu enbaziyo and singa implicate indawo. I'm not gonna mention indawo zakhona ukuthi nginganthusi ukuthi ningasayi, but ngizozama protector the elements I can protect, but let's go. So ngisentabeni we doing our prayers midnight. Nabantwana betonga, we've been praying. It's after midnight. Sibhizi ngezinto esizenzayo zomoya amasiqeda ukuthandaza. Now, the one thing I need to tell you, Utimina, my senses are heightened. Ngizwa izinto ngingakwazi ukuzinukelelwa nezinto. It's actually my nose and my ear that are sharp. Also, I would say my taste buds. It's never my eyesight is bad, but the rest are heightened. So, mangizwa into, you might find it will take you much longer to hear it than I would. So, ngisentabeni siyabhizi siyasebenza, ngizwa ama-sounds wengane ekhalayo. Now, at this rate, as a mother, ngithukiwe, kunengane ekhalayo, what's going on? Kusebusuku kangaka ingane at this place, or kunomuntu mebozile nengane yakhe bazothandaza or something. But the sounds are distressing. So, noma ngaba ngizama kangakanani, akangihlali kahle lama sounds. I call the usual people, from security, ukuthi bangihlangabeze enzansi. So I have somebody who's on protect. Sizochecka ukuthi kwenzakalani. Okay. Ngicela security ukuthi angimithe kuphi endaweni thizeni ngizokwazi ukuyobona ukuthi kwenzakala naye ngiyehle ngempela nentaba. The longer ngiyehla, the more intense the sounds are. Now lama sounds angazi ukuthi yimbuzi now manje akusesengane. It sounds like imbuzi distressed or abantu abayi2 abenza izinto inkonzo yasekamreni or yini, but it's distressing. The closer I get, the more distressing the sound is. And not just from imbuzi, that sounded, the thing that sounded like imbuzi at first in Kabangutumtuana, but also from a male figure. Now, it's very distressing. So I go down, I meet the security. Uyavuma uthi ngiyayizwa nami ngithi okay ngicela ungikhaphe, it sounds like ivela ngapha ngeside ye waterfall. Hayi yithi lawo sihamba hayi closer to the place ngiphethe i-torch so ngiyayicima ukuthi ngingabonakali. How? Okay, siyasondela. Masondela, obviously we can't make noise. Ngiyamcela ukuthi ngicela ungenza umsindo, ngicela ungamemezi, ngicela ungamkhuzi, ngicela ukubona ukuthi kwenzakalani. Hayi ngempela yithi labo closer to a place. Do I not see this popular healer? Nembuzi. Ku waterfall. Nenza nembuzi nizigibele ku waterfall. Ritually yipi leyo. Nenzani. Manje, the first thing the security wants to do, ukhuza. Ahlukanise lento yenzakalayo ngoba I mean ngimcele ukuthi hayi asiyeke asimiyeka kalimazi umuntu. Ngiyazi imbuzi I didn't give consent, but not to embarrass them. Cala simiyeke benze lezi zinto abazizele siphume kube mina was concerned ukuthi bokuyingane ekhalayo. What would you have done in that situation?
Vous connaissez cette chanson? Et ouais, c'est bien celle qui donne des frissons dans les films d'horreur. À la base, c'était une chanson d'amour. Retour en 1929, l'acteur et guitariste Nick Lucas interprète Tiptoe Through the Tulips With Me dans le film musical Gold Diggers of Broadway. C'est une douce balade dans un jardin fleuri, c'est frais, c'est romantique, c'est léger, bref, les années 20. Mais 40 ans plus tard, en 1968, tout change. Un artiste excentrique nommé Tiny Tim reprend la chanson. Avec son ukulélé et sa voix en falsetto suraigu, on n'est plus du tout dans la même vibe. Sa version devient un tube et entre dans le top 10 Billboard, mais c'est surtout une énigme. Entre nostalgie sincère et performance décalée, on ne sait pas si c'est un gros troll ou un chef-d'œuvre. Le 28 novembre 1996, Tiny Tim est invité à performer à un événement caritatif. Son médecin lui avait pourtant interdit de jouer car il avait fait une crise cardiaque 2 mois plus tôt. Malgré tout, il décide de monter sur scène. On raconte qu'après avoir chanté Tiptoe Through the Tulips, Tiny Tim recule, trébuche et s'effondre sur scène. Il est transporté d'urgence à l'hôpital et meurt 1 heure plus tard d'un nouvel arrêt cardiaque. Après cet événement, la chanson sera considérée comme maudite. Depuis, elle est devenue culte et utilisée dans des films comme Insidious. Elle symbolise cette frontière entre légèreté et étrange. Alors, elle vous fait toujours aussi peur?
My neighbor's dog keeps barking, so if you hear it, I'm so sorry. Also, I need to cut the bad habit of biting the skin off of my lips when I get nervous. I don't know how to stop that, okay? Anyway, this girl wrote into Relatos de la Noche because she says she keeps seeing her sister's doppelganger. Am I saying it right? I hope I am. She said that when she first noticed this, she would see her sister go to a room, and then she would see her come from a different way, and she was like, what the hell, I just saw you go in there, and it kind of escalated from there. There was one time where her mom and her and another sister were in the living room, and she got a little cold, so she was gonna go upstairs and get a sweater. When she went up the stairs, she turned on the lights from the stairs only because she was just gonna grab a sweater really quickly. Once she grabs the sweater, she comes out to the hallway, and with the light from the stairs, she can see into her sister's room, and she said that she can clearly see her laying in bed. She mentioned that she did think it was weird that her sister was asleep, but she didn't really give it that much importance and just went back down the stairs with her other sister and mom. Once she went down there, she got chills all over her body because what she saw was that same sister that was asleep in her room on the kitchen table doing her homework. She did tell her mom then and there what she had seen upstairs, but the mom confirmed that the sister had been at the table for a while now with her headphones in, really focused on her homework, so there's no way that she was up there asleep. She said that after her mom told her that, she really didn't want to read too much into it, and she tried to justify it by just telling herself that maybe since only the stairs lights were on, she thought she saw somebody on her sister's bed. But she also knew that she was kind of trying to lie to herself just so she could feel better and not have a panic about it. However, a few days passed, and this is what the mom experienced. So before I start, I just want to let you know that from the mom's room, she could see 2 of the bedroom doors, and that's for the 2 daughters, the one that's telling us the story and the one that they keep seeing the doppelganger of. And at the end of that, there's also a restroom, which she can see all of this from her room. So the mom says that it was one night where she just couldn't fall asleep and she was tossing and turning, and while she couldn't fall asleep, she saw that the daughter, the doppelganger one, she got out of her room and went into the restroom. At this point, the mom had turned the TV on because she knew she just couldn't fall asleep, and after 15 minutes, she was like, wait, I have not seen her get out of that restroom, so she kind of got a little worried. So the mom goes to the restroom expecting to see her daughter there, but the lights were off. She opens the door and there is nobody in that restroom. So out of curiosity, she's like, I never saw her go back to her room, so let me check. She opens the daughter's bedroom door, and the girl is asleep on her bed. The mom was a little freaked out because there's no explanation as to why she saw her daughter go in, never saw her come out, and then her daughter is fast asleep on her bed. So back to the sister, because she's the one that's writing in this story. She says that something else happened, and it was probably the scariest thing that happened and the last time she saw her sister's doppelganger. It was New Year's Day, and the girl that's writing in, her boyfriend invited her entire family to go spend New Year's with his family, and they did. And they didn't end up coming back home until 4 in the morning. She said that when they got home, everybody went to their bedrooms because it was really late, and well, I guess early, but they were all really tired tired and they were gonna go to bed. She said before she went to sleep, she went to the restroom and was washing her face, taking her makeup off, and brushing her teeth. She mentions that she didn't close the door because it's not like she was in use the toilet or shower. She was just trying to do everything quickly to go to bed. And that was when she saw her sister pass by and go down the stairs. And she didn't really think anything of it until she realized that her sister never turned the stairs light on. She said that she walked out of the restroom not really thinking about anything but except for why she didn't turn the lights on, and by the time she got to the top of the stairs, her sister was already at the last step and she lost sight of her when she went into the living room. Once she got to the living room, even though she lost sight of her, she again thought it was weird that she hasn't turned any lights on. She mentions that since her and her sister were little, they always accompanied each other downstairs, or like they never like to go down there alone. They always keep each other's company, right? So that's what she thought in that moment. She was like, well, let me go with her because I don't know what she's doing and, you know, maybe she needs my company. She's about to go down the stairs as she hears her sister's voice behind her say, "What are you looking at? What are you doing?" Her real sister had just came out of the bedroom, her bedroom, asking her what the hell she had been looking at and where is she going. She said that she stayed frozen in that moment because she was just about to go down there. She saw her sister walk down those steps and her sister had just opened her own bedroom door and said, "What are you doing?" I wouldn't even know what the fuck to do. She said that she wants to blame it on maybe drinking on New Year's, but like no, because she clearly saw her pass by that door, like saw her go down the stairs and lost sight of her when she was going to the living room. So she doesn't know what to think about it, but she doesn't think it was her drinking that caused her to see that, you know? By the way, this happened in January of this year, 2024. This is something that happened recently. She says that she hasn't seen it again since, but she doesn't know what to make of it. Like, is it a spirit or is it like a true doppelganger of her sister? But it just freaks her out. I'm not gonna lie, if that was me and my sister had just come out of her bedroom, which one is the real one? At this point, I don't trust anyone, nobody. I'm gonna lock myself in my room. But also the fact that it happened this year and more things could possibly happen other than that. I would never trust my sister again. I can't. If I see her, like, is it you or is it not you? Anyway, what do you guys think about it? I'm gonna put this story here with the time that it starts. It's from Relatos de la Noche, and of course it is 1,000 times scarier in Spanish.
Picture this, you're on a big boat, tons of people, swimming with manta rays. Sounds like a great idea. I'm in, I'm excited. I jump in the water, immediately transform into a mermaid. I'm like, this is fun. I'm swimming around. I can still see people like off in the distance. So I'm like, you know, I'm probably with my group. There's like 20 people. Like I see the bodies. I'm like, it's chill. Like I'm not scared if there's other people around me. I see the fish, I see a manta ray, all's good. I pop up at one point and I'm like, where's my friend? Like I don't see him anywhere, but I still see some people. So I'm like, it's fine. Then I'm like, hold on. I look up, there's a lot less people. I start looking at the people. I'm like, I don't recognize any of you. I do a full like bobble 360 in the water. I'm like, I don't see the boat. I'm like, my boat is gone and my boat was blue. That boat right there is yellow. It's gone. So there's like a full minute where I'm in the water just like, like my boat's gone. Like all 30 people left me. Like now I'm just swimming in the water. Like, you know, like the mermaid, it's not like that fun anymore. But for this moment, it was fine because there were still like people around me. So I was like, you know, nothing really is gonna happen. And I don't really have a fear of like swimming with sharks. Like I've like dove with sharks, I've scubaed with sharks. Like it doesn't freak me out when I'm like with my people and plan to see the sharks. Suddenly I see my boat. There's like this yellow boat. My boat, I see it in the distance. And I look over. Everybody's on the boat. My friend's on the boat, just like chilling. I'm like, guys, I'm over here. And when I tell you this boat was like not close, like my boat was probably like 3 football fields away. And like we were swimming off of this island. There's nothing around us. Like it was a tiny little one in the middle of the ocean. So I'm like, shoot. So my options here are either start screaming bloody murder, hopefully come save me, or just swim to the boat. And I'm like, you know what, this is like when it's time to grow up. So I just start hauling my butt to the boat. I'm swimming, I start swimming, the other boat's far away, my boat is even farther away, and at that point I was like, there's no choice, you like can't give up now. So I'm swimming, like I was pulling out my Olympic swimming jeans. I was like, please uncles, give me some sort of speed. Like I've done swim training before, but I was too short and I quit because I was not fast enough. And surely every time I look down, blackness. Not even like when you're swimming in like fun deep water and like you're trying to see things and it's like blue with the light. Blackness. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like my boat's really far away. I can't even go back to the other boat if I wanted to. I'm just going as fast as I can. And I started getting PTSD because when I was younger, I was really scared of like, I was fine with the ocean, but something about the lake freaked me out. And one time my mom like, she thought it would be funny. She disconnected the tube from like the jet ski and just left me floating in the lake. And I screamed so loud that my neighbors came and rescued me because they thought I was like dying out on the tube. But yeah, basically I looked down, kept seeing darkness, so I just decided to close my eyes, going as fast as I can. And then I made it back to the boat and I was like, hey guys, like, funny, like, got a little lost, like, so chill. Like, they would have probably thought I was just like having a leisurely swim back to the boat. And I was like, yeah, don't know how I got lost. And yeah, that's how I survived. I honestly thought about it, like, what if I just stopped? But then I was like, is a still target worse? You know, like, I wasn't gonna drown. Like, I'm a very good swimmer, but like, I thought about just stopping. Like, were they gonna come get me? Probably. But when the moment that they left, when I thought they left me, I was like, it's game over. I was like, I don't know where I'm going. Like, the island's too far. There's nothing around me. It was a lot. But yeah, that was that. Don't recommend. Maybe like stay with the people you're supposed to be swimming with. But at the same time, I feel like I conquered something within myself. You know what I mean? Like, I always say do one thing a day that scares you, and I sure as hell was scared. You know? Okay, that's it. Swam in the depths of the ocean, didn't get eaten by Megalodon. Toodles.
Should we show them the older homestead?
Yeah, let's go. As you know.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Was that you?
Yeah, that's on either side.
They went to both.
Yeah.
Tell me a ghost story that sounds completely unbelievable but is entirely true.
Okay, so this is my sleep paralysis story. It like traumatized me for a long time. It like still really freaks me out. I didn't talk about it for a really long time because I felt like, well, not I felt like if I talked about it, I would have sleep paralysis that night for like years afterwards. So some of the details are like a little bit fuzzy to me, but I also remember a lot of it very clearly, and like it still affects me. Like to this day, it affects like how I sleep and if I sleep, and it still really freaks me out. So right before this started happening, I got like pretty heavily addicted to opiates and heroin. And for a long time, I convinced myself that the experiences that I was having was a result of like how miserable I was, how depressed I was, how sad. Like I was prisoner to my addiction, and I saw no way out. I was so hopeless, and I really like convinced myself that the experiences that I was having was just a manifestation of how miserable I was. I don't think that anymore, but the first time it happened, I was still living with my mom. I was sleeping in my room. I was sleeping on my stomach. I had my arm like next to me like that. My face was like this on the pillow facing the wall. And I woke up. I became aware that I was laying in my bed. And it felt like, you know how like a dog, like if they jump up on the bed, they put their front paws up and they like push down. There's like a little indentation. Felt like that, but as if like a bear did it. Like it was my whole bed like got pushed down, and I felt like I was like kind of sliding towards the indentation. I also felt my blanket getting pulled off of me like towards the floor. And then I heard like this voice in my ear, and it was super low, super gravelly, definitely male, but not like human male. And it said, "You make cute noises while you sleep." And then I felt a hand like come around me, like grabbing me. And like while this was happening, my arm that was right here, I was trying to like shove it out. And like after I felt that hand, I finally was able to like swing out. And I woke up, I like turned over, and like I fully expected someone to be in my room, in my bed, on top. Like that was real for me, like that there was going to be a person there. And of course there was nothing there. And I like froze. I just like laid in my bed for I don't know how long. It could have been 2 seconds. It could have been like 30. Laid in my bed, just like kind of like looking around like that. And then a light turns on in the hallway, and I'm like, Mom? And she's like, Katie, what's wrong? Like, she could hear how like afraid I was. And then I just start sobbing. And I told her what happened, and she probably thought I was fucking insane. And I ended up sleeping with her that night. I slept with her for the next like 4 or 5 nights. I was fucking terrified. But eventually, you know, I go back, sleep in my bed. And it happens like pretty consistently after that. Always the same voice, always very like possessive and like, you're mine, like you belong to me, like I'm never gonna leave you alone, was the impression that I got. Also, side note, every single boyfriend that I've ever had, every friend that I've ever like stayed the night with, anyone I've ever slept next to tells me like, hey, like you like sigh in your sleep, you go like like that. And so that like really freaked me out. Like, I know I like whatever sigh in my sleep, and it was like, you make cute noises, like come with me. And this like started happening a lot, like almost every time I would go to bed. So I kind of, I don't remember like every single time it happened. I don't remember every single thing it said exactly, but it was a very regular occurrence. And I remember having the very distinct feeling that it like lived in my closet. Like my closet, you could walk in like a few steps, but it didn't have a door on it. Like it was just the frame and you'd walk in. So I had like beads hanging. And I just, like, it wasn't under my bed. It wasn't like in other parts of my room. Like it was always like in my closet. And the one time I saw it, I was sleeping like, I think towards my closet, and I woke up and the beads like opened, and I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. I saw like maybe like 3.5 foot like black figure like scurry like out of my closet, like kind of towards my bed and then like towards my door. And that's all I saw of it. And I like woke up, and of course there was no one there. So I started like, I made a rule for myself, like when I was gonna go to bed, when I turned off my lights or when I like locked my phone, like my eyes were closed, I was not gonna open them again. Like period. Didn't matter. Like if I woke up in the middle of the night and had to pee, doesn't matter. You wait until morning. If I woke up hungry, doesn't matter. Not gonna open my eyes because I don't want to fucking see anything. Like we're staying asleep. And I would also sleep with earbuds in, not even like playing anything, but just to like try to like separate myself from like what was going on in my room, which I still do to this day. I sleep with earplugs in now. And this all started happening the summer after I turned 18. And this all happened like over the course of the summer. And that fall I was going to college. So when I was finally going to college, I was like, yes, like it's not gonna happen anymore. Like I'm gonna be out of that room. I really thought it was like my room that was the issue. So I get to college, and very quickly after I am like living in my dorm with my roommate, like I start having sleep paralysis again. And I remember one night it told me like, you can't get away from me, which I was sorely disappointed about that. Really thought the geographical change was going to work. And then another time, I specifically remember it happening. I had a boyfriend that I started dating at school, and he was sleeping with me one night, and I like woke up, couldn't move, and that voice was like in my ear again. And my boyfriend was in bed like next to me, he was like spooning me, and I woke up and that voice was in my ear, and it said like literally, he can't protect you from me. And of course I'm freaking out, I'm scared, and this like continues happening for another few weeks. And then I eventually like I'm talking to my roommate, and I didn't know this at the time, but she was very like sensitive, like able to feel energies and like see things sometimes. And we just kind of got to talking about sleep, and I finally opened up to her and like told her what had been happening. And she told me, yeah, you know, like I always sleep like towards the wall. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, well, yeah, I do that on purpose because like one of our first nights here, I like woke up and you were sleeping, like our beds were like on opposite sides of the room. But if you just like looked over, you could see them. I could see my roommate. She could see me. And she told me she woke up one night, looked over, saw me asleep, and she saw like a tall, like black figure. And sometimes it would stand like in front of our bathroom door, which it was like my bed and then like bathroom. So it would stand in front of like the bathroom door, and then it would like kind of float over like to me and like lean over me, like looking at me, and then it would like go back like to the bathroom, and it would do that like all night long. I can't believe this is already almost at 10 minutes. But anyway, so after she told me that, I realized like, fuck, this is real. This isn't just in my head. Like somebody else is seeing this and experiencing things. And it terrified me for a really long time. It kept happening for a long time until I got off the drugs. And even for a little bit afterwards, like it happened. I mean, it doesn't happen anymore really. And I'm hoping like telling this story doesn't bring it back. Like, no, thank you. But yeah, that's my sleep paralysis story. And how I'm convinced being on drugs attracts entities to feed off of your fear.
What the fuck was that? Bro!
What's going on around you?
I don't know. I'm frozen. I am frozen.
Did the window
Sean.
break?
Scary story time. While I make slime, I dreamed about 2 men drowning, and it turned out to be real. Get your money's worth in what? Let it drain. Okay, y'all, so a couple months ago, I went swimming at, I'm not gonna say the lake name, but I went swimming. So the water was nice. I had an amazing time. And I went swimming there 2 separate times. So the first time that I went swimming, nothing happened. You know, I went home, I minded my business. And then the next week, I went swimming again. This is where the weird stuff starts to happen. This day, the water was much different. It was still pretty, but like when I got in it, it felt weird and almost eerie. And it got to a point to where I was like, oh no, like this feeling is overwhelming. I have to get out of the water. And I was ready to go home, okay? So the feeling was so freaking overwhelming to the point where I was like, nah, like I gotta go. So we ended up on the drive. I low-key kind of forgot about the eerie feeling. I'm gonna try to explain it the best way I can, but the dream starts off with me in a boat, and on this said boat, I'm like minding my business, and then somehow I fall in the water and I begin to drown, and I can literally feel and hear everything that's happening to me. Keep in mind, I'm not me. I'm in another, like I'm not in my original body, okay, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm not making sense, but yeah. After like 2 minutes under the water, I woke up gasping for air. I was so freaked out, but I ended up falling back to sleep somehow, and I had the same dream but a different person, and it seemed like a different time. This time I was swimming, and I guess like I got tired and I just drowned, and I can't tell you why I had these dreams. Same thing, no, I woke up freaking, oh, I got goosebumps. I woke up in like a state of, oh my gosh, like I can't breathe. It took me a minute to catch my breath. And so this is when I got curious, because I'm like, okay, I know I'm not tripping. So I asked my grandma, I'm like, grandma, like I just had a dream about me, you know, I'm drowning and da-da-da-da. And she told me to explain it, and I explained it because it was way more graphic than what I can say on here. And then I just had the bright idea to search up how many unalivings had happened at the lake that I swam at. And the most recent ones was, I think they were like a year apart from each other. They had both, you know, yeah, unalived by drowning. Same scenario, one by a boat and one by swimming. Y'all, I don't know what I can get to activate my slime that's not borax, because I feel like everybody is like changing their ingredients now, so like the OG stuff that's used to activate it isn't activating it anymore. But anyways, yeah, that was my scary dream, and my slime freaking sucks. I suck at making slime. I will never be a slime queen because I suck. My hand is burning so bad, y'all. Like,